In this episode of Occult Unmasked, we will delve deeper in the realm of demonic entities. The attributes of demons are many. This subject is not for the light-hearted. It's a subject that goes deep. If you've never had an encounter with a demonic entity, consider yourself lucky. I personally have. A few times, here and there, mostly back in the year 2011. Hopefully, I don't have too many more in the future, but only time will tell. Even though a lot of Hollywood movies joke around with the subject, if you know enough about demonic entities, you can see what even the Hollywood writers didn't intend on adding to the movie. There's a movie called The Mothman Prophecies, which is based on sightings of an unknown alien entity, sort of like Bigfoot, very elusive, but supposedly had the properties of a moth, a giant moth, or perhaps a giant bird-like creature. And I'm going to show a clip from the movie. I was unable to do so I had to recreate the entire soundtrack and the entire dialogue between the character and the entity. This is supposedly the Mothman, or some type of entity talking to the main character. Now, this entity is clearly demonic, not extraterrestrial in any way, shape, or form. This is the most pinnacle scene of the movie, The Mothman Prophecies, but it doesn't spoil too much. And because I changed everything up, I recommend watching the movie for this scene, as it is portrayed and acted much better with the original voices.
Hello, John Klein.
Who is this?
Your father was born in Racine, Wisconsin. He lived in a greenhouse on Monroe Street. You don't remember how your mother looked.
Okay, you got my attention. Where's my watch?
In your shoe. Under the bed. Very good, John. Thank you.
What's in my hand?
Chapstick.
You're reading my mind, aren't you? Are you reading my mind?
I have no need to, do I?
What's the third line of page 51?
A broken smile beneath her whispered wings. Still more proof, John Klein.
What do you look like?
It depends on who's looking.
I want to meet you.
You already have, John.
Demonic entities, they do have the ability to stand right next to you, and you being 100% oblivious to that fact. They can look over your shoulder, and they often do. They can see what you're reading, and they often do. They can see through anything, and so they can see if you're holding a chapstick in your hand. What they rarely will do is tell you about it, or have a conversation with you about it over a telephone. That much is pretty extreme. Now, I don't know if this is based on a true story, this particular scene, or if it was 100% fictional for the movie. Either way, such communications would be extremely rare and probably didn't happen. But demonic entities can see what's in your shoe under your bed. They have X-ray vision, as was covered in previous The Attributes of Demons, Occult Unmasked episodes. I personally know firsthand that demonic entities have beyond X-ray vision concerning the third dimension. They can see right through us. How do I know that? Someone asked me in the comments section, how do you know they have X-ray vision? How do you know? I know from two separate instances. One involved the 2011 poltergeist haunting. The entity, a number of times, not too many times, but enough times for me to make a mental note. That's interesting. There's no way that entity would be moving that object unless it had X-ray vision and could see through another object to move that object. And this isn't the movie Birdman. This isn't being crazy, hallucinating that things are moving around. I took, and I currently take, 0 drugs. I'm 100% sane, believe it or not. A doctor might disagree with that if that particular doctor is an atheist. But I know for 100% fact that demonic entities exist. They do have X-ray vision. They have beyond X-ray vision. And they don't flaunt it. They really keep it a secret, considering the fact that most humans don't even believe they exist. So why should they come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, we have X-ray vision? So no, they don't come out and announce they have it, but they slipped up enough during the 6 months that I was poltergeist haunted that I know for a fact demons have X-ray vision. Now, what are the instances in which they slipped up? I'm writing about it, and it's not phenomenal, it's not sensational, but I'd rather keep those exact stories a bit of something saved away for my book that I'm writing. But a few years later, I did have a rare instance alluding to them also having X-ray vision. So I have those two separate dates separated. In addition to that, I have been researching enough. As you can see in my X-ray vision episode of the Attributes of Demons, a sorcerer that actually summons these things made note that the entity didn't even need to question for a second what was inside of a sealed box, because he could see straight through that sealed box. The sorcerer was telling the entity, oh, by the way, this is inside the box. The entity said, yeah, I know, I can see it. So very casually. And that's one thing I wanted to make note about from the movie Tomorrowland, was how casually the robot girl mentioned how she has X-ray vision.
Give me the Edison tube and we'll go without you.
I don't have the Edison tube.
It's in your bag. I have X-ray vision.
When'd you get X-ray vision?
Oh, she's full of surprises.
She just extremely casually mentioned it like, oh, of course I have X-ray vision. It's not a big deal. I see it through your bag. And so that was the connection with that movie, which I forgot to mention in the X-ray episode, was how casual it was mentioned. Now, these entities, sure, they have X-ray vision. Beyond that, all 3D objects are almost connected from their higher dimensional perspective. They are, in my opinion, in the 5th dimension, but that's just a number. A slightly higher dimension is a more accurate description. Numbers are just assignments by humans. We could say they're in the 4.5th dimension, 5.6th dimension. It doesn't matter. Numbers don't matter. All that matters is they're in a slightly higher membrane, and they can look down into our membrane and see us. We look up, we cannot see them. I will discuss membranes in greater detail in the next episode. Please subscribe. More episodes coming soon. This has been John Rasmus with Occult Unmasked. Be seeing you.